Man, Sean Puffy Combs, I don't sleep to this day. I have a problem sleeping to this day. Like, yo, man, I'm here to work, man. I ain't sang in a week. I mean, I'm 13 years old, and I'm telling him, look, you're gonna put me in the studio, man. You got Biggie Smalls in there, you got Craig Mack in there. I'm not here to party with you. I don't want to go to the clubs. Matter of fact, I'm too young to even be in here. Why you got me in clubs? We would fight, we would tussle.
Alright, let's get into it, because 50 Cent just lit a match and dropped it straight into Diddy's legacy. For years, Diddy crafted an image of himself as hip-hop's ultimate mentor. The mogul. The kingmaker. The guy who could take any hungry young talent, give them a haircut, a contract, and boom, platinum records. When it came to Usher, he wasn't just a mentor. He was the man who gave him his start. A young, 13-year-old Usher Raymond was shipped off to live with Diddy in New York like it was some kind of artist boot camp. But 50 Cent? He's not buying the fairy tale. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. It is free and help us bring you enjoyable content. And of course, watch till the end. In fact, he's ripping the whole thing apart, brick by brick. And once you hear what 50's been saying, along with what's been floating in the background for years, you'll understand why so many people are now giving Diddy's mentorship a serious side-eye. So what really happened during those wild early years? Let's dive deep. If you want to make it in the industry, you gotta trust someone. That's the line so many rising artists hear, and it's the line Diddy reportedly used like a charm spell. From Biggie to Maze to Usher and beyond, Diddy always cast himself as the gatekeeper. When Usher's mom let him live with Diddy at 13, it was supposed to be a dream. Like sending your kid to Harvard with P, Diddy as the professor. But instead of textbooks and studio sessions, Usher allegedly found himself surrounded by after-hours madness, parties with industry execs, models, alcohol, and scenes no kid should be witnessing. 50 Cent has been dropping cryptic breadcrumbs about this for years, but lately, he's saying it with his whole chest. He's directly accused Diddy of exposing Usher to grown man situations, and not just as a bystander. So the question becomes, what was really going on in those Manhattan apartments? Let's get one thing clear. Usher has never publicly accused Diddy of anything illegal, but the way he's talked about that time, it's raised eyebrows for years. In an old interview with Howard Stern, Usher awkwardly joked about living with Diddy, saying, "I was in the house with Puff. There were parties. I was like 13 and there was stuff going on." Howard pushed, and Usher, clearly uncomfortable, laughed it off. But even through the laughter, you could see it. This wasn't just some funny teenage memory. This was a what the hell was my mom thinking kind of story. 50 Cent picked up on that same energy. He reposted clips, added commentary, and flat out said, Diddy had Usher around grown men doing grown things. It begs the question, was this mentorship? Or something else entirely? The entertainment industry has a reputation. And sometimes, the rumors are so persistent, so eerily consistent across decades, you can't help but wonder, how much is real? For years, whispers have followed Diddy. About his parties. About what really goes down once the cameras are off and the NDAs are signed. Former bodyguards. Ex-artists. Even random celebrities have made offhand comments that suggest there's more to the Diddy legend than flashy suits and bad boy for life. And when 50 Cent talks, he's not whispering. He's broadcasting. He's implied that Diddy has compromising material on industry artists. That he grooms artists to be loyal, not just professionally, but personally. 50 says this isn't mentorship. It's manipulation. And Usher might have been the first major case. So who else was caught up in it? If you think Usher was an isolated story, buckle up. You remember Maze? The Harlem rapper who was poised to be the next big thing until he vanished from the industry? He later accused Diddy of spiritual manipulation and said the label was like being stuck in a gilded cage. Then came the Donny Kane fallout. Aubrey O'Day, who was once Diddy's prodigy, has also heavily hinted at inappropriate power dynamics and called out how women and young artists were treated behind the scenes. Cassie? That's a whole other chapter and a lawsuit involving allegations of sexual coercion and trafficking. When you connect the dots, a disturbing pattern starts to form. And 50 Cent? He's not just connecting them, he's circling them in red. But the Usher story stings different. Because he was so young, so vulnerable, and what he was exposed to might have shaped him in ways we can't fully grasp. So how does Usher feel about all this now? You'd think Usher would have addressed 50's claims by now. He hasn't. In fact, every time the topic comes up, whether in interviews, social media, or podcasts, Usher either laughs it off, dodges the question, or changes the subject. That could mean he's trying to move past it. Or it could mean something deeper. Some say he's protecting his career. Others say he's protecting his peace. But whatever the reason, his silence has become its own headline. And 50 Cent? He's not letting it go. He's made it clear that he believes Usher's silence is not consent, but survival. That Usher is one of many artists who were thrown into the deep end of an industry that chews up innocence and spits out compliance. Which leads us to the real question. What does this all mean for Diddy now? Over the past year, Diddy has gone from industry icon to embattled figure. Lawsuits, allegations, former friends turning into foes. Even the fans, once fiercely loyal, are now giving him side eyes of suspicion. It's no longer just 50 Cent throwing shade. It's the blogs, the ex-employees, and even mainstream media slowly peeling back the layers. And if 50's claims about Usher are just the tip of the iceberg, then what's underneath could be enough to sink a career that once seemed untouchable. Diddy built an empire on charm, swagger, and a mentor persona. But what if that persona was just a mask? This story isn't just about Diddy, or Usher, or 50 Cent. It's about power dynamics in the music industry. About how fame, money, and influence can create environments where young talent is exploited, not nurtured. 50 Cent might be trolling. Or he might be telling the truth that everyone else is too scared to say. Either way, his claims force us to ask, how many more stories like Usher's are out there? And how many more kids are still chasing fame down the same dangerous path? Whether you love 50 Cent or think he's just a master provocateur, you can't deny this. He's made people look twice at Diddy's story. And that might be exactly the point. Maybe this isn't just another celebrity feud. Maybe it's a warning shot. A reminder that behind every glittering award show moment, there's a behind-the-scenes story we may never fully understand. And maybe, just maybe, someone needs to keep pulling at those threads. Because once enough of them unravel, the truth tends to spill out. Is 50 Cent just stirring up drama? Or is he exposing a deeper truth the industry doesn't want you to see? Drop your thoughts in the comments, backhand index pointing down, and let us know. Should Diddy be held accountable for what happened to Usher? And if you've got stories, theories, or even receipts, this is the place to share them. We're just getting started. Firecracker, stick around for more celeb exposés, raw stories, and untold truths. Because in this industry, nothing stays buried forever.